Hi, everyone. Welcome back to No Limit. My name is Kayla Petrasek, and if you're new here, this is the show where we don't do that surface level bullshit. We don't, we're not about just being authentic and the sales will come. What we actually do here is strategies and frameworks. We do money, we do mastery, and today we are going to dive really deep on the one thing that separates six-figure closers from everyone else playing pretend in their DMs. All right, objection handling. But not the way that you've been taught, felt, found, not some script back from like 2014 that makes you sound like a used car salesman. I'm talking about the complete reframe of what an objection actually is and how, when you understand it, you will never fear a no again. All right, so let's talk about the reframe. What is an objection? Most people think that an objection is a wall. It's like a stop sign, a rejection. And that's why most people choke when they hear one, right? But here's the truth. And I need to tell you, I really need you to hear this. An objection is not a rejection. Remember that. An objection, it is not a rejection. An objection is an invitation. So it is it's like basically your prospect literally telling you that I'm interested enough to still be in this conversation, but I have a gap between like where I am and where I need to be, So help me close this gap. That is it. And that is all. So think about it. If someone wasn't interested, they wouldn't object. They just literally leave. They would ghost you. They'd say no thanks and hang up. The fact that they're giving you a reason, that means that they're still in the thread. And now it's your job and only your job to pull that thread. Okay. So now here's where it gets a little spiritual for a second. And then I promise I'm going to get tactical. So when you hear objections, what you are really saying is, I don't trust that what I'm offering is worth fighting for. You're making the objection about you, your ego, like your fear of hearing no. But this was never about you. The woman on the other end or the man of that call, they're scared. They want the transformation. They've probably been burned before, like we all have been. They're looking at their bank account, looking at their life, and they're trying to figure out if this is the moment that they bet on themselves. And you are going to let a little you're not going to let a little, excuse like I need to think about it stop you from helping her, right? No, not anymore. Not after today. So here's a framework that I want to share with you. I call it the OIC. So it's objection, identify, close. Okay. Objection, identify, close. Literally save this in your notes, guys. 3 steps. Every objection, let's just break it down. I'm going to show you how this works. So step 1, objection. Receive it without reacting. This is where 90% of salespeople lose the deal. Someone says it's too expensive and you would hear their panic, their voice goes up, like they start to, you can just feel that they're stepping out, right? They start discounting, they're going to start throwing excuses and justifying, they start doing that whole dance. But no, when you hear an objection, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause, wait 2 full seconds, like 2 full seconds, breathe. Silence is okay. Often when people hear silence, they feel like they need to talk. It can be powerful. 2 seconds, breathe. And then say one of these 3 phrases. I hear you. That makes sense. Tell me more about that. That is it. No defense, no pitch. You are receiving, not reacting. You are showing this person that you're unshakable and that you've heard this before, that you are a professional, not a desperate person hoping that they'll buy. Energy is everything in sales. The moment that you flinch, they feel it, okay? And as soon as that happens, guys, the trust, it evaporates. If yes, beautiful. So it sounds like you've already made the decision for yourself. Do you want me to help you frame this conversation with you for your partner so it's easy? I can give you 3 bullet points that will take 2 minutes. You are removing the friction by doing this. You are making it easy for him or her to advocate for themselves. That's service. That is not manipulation. Okay. Number 3, I need to think about it. Okay. The response, of course. And I want you to make the best decision that you can for yourself. Can I ask, what specifically are you wanting to think more about? Is it the investment, the timing, or whether this is the right fit? I just want to make sure that you have everything you need to make that decision with complete clarity. Now, what you're doing is you're turning a vague delay tactic into a specific addressable concern. I need to think about it is a fog. Your job is to help them see through that fog. Okay. Now, number 4, another excuse. I've tried something like this before and it just didn't work. So your response can be something like, hey, I appreciate you telling me that. Like, honestly, that takes courage. Can I ask what specifically didn't work for you last time? Because I want to make sure this is different. And if it's not, I'll tell you, is everything in this, guys. It signals that you are not a desperate salesperson. You are willing to walk away just as much as they are. And paradoxically, that makes them trust you actually much, much more. Detachment from the outcome is the most powerful energy in a sales conversation, period. So number 5, the timing isn't right. Okay. So you can say something like, yeah, hey, I hear you. And I'm curious, like when you picture the right time, what does that look like? Because in my experience, the right time for most people, honestly, it never comes. It's always after the next launch or after the kids go out to school, after, the savings account hits a certain number. And what usually happens is a year goes by and, nothing's changed. Is that the pattern that you want to repeat, or is this the moment where you're going to break it? So this is bold, right? And it's direct. And some of you are going to hear that and think, oh, that's, it's too much. I shouldn't say that. But here's what I know. Like being overly polite, it doesn't change lives. Directness does. Now we can be polite, obviously, right? But we also we got to hold the power in this conversation. And we need to be direct. That's our job. Being willing to tell someone the truth that they need to hear with love, with respect, but without apology. Like that is what leadership is. And that is what makes you a closer, guys. All right. So let me just kind of run you through a quick role play. Okay, guys? All right. So we are going to do something different now. Role playing, I feel like it gives you something tangible to work with. So let's kind of go through it. I'm going to obviously play both parts, the prospect and the closer, but I want you to just like listen to the rhythm, the pacing, the tone. And this is what it sounds like when the OIC that we talked about comes to light. Okay. All right. Kayla, I love everything that you shared. I don't know. I don't think I can swing it right now. Like it's a lot of money and honestly, things are tight. So I say, I hear you. I want you to know I would never pressure you into something that doesn't feel right. Can I ask you something though? Yeah, of course. When you say things are tight, is that about the actual dollars right now? Or is it more that you're not sure if this will be worth it? I mean, honestly, both. Like, the money's real. But also, I've bought courses before and like I never finish them. So I'm just scared I'm going to waste it. Okay. Well, thanks for being real with me. That's actually really important. And, as I'm kind of thinking about this, like, can I just share something? Yeah. The fact that you didn't finish these programs, I mean, that's not a you problem. That's a program problem. Most courses are built to deliver information. They're not built to create an actual transformation in your life. So there's no accountability. Like there's no structure. No one's checking in on you. What I'm offering you today, it's not a course. This is a container. And, you're going to have me and my team in your corner, and you're going to have a cohort of people who are in it with you day over day. And, you're going to have a framework that's built around implementation, not just information overload. So the question isn't whether you'll finish. The question is whether you're ready to be in a room where quitting honestly isn't an option. And I think you're ready, but you're the one that really knows the answer. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's the payment plan anyways? All right. Well, let me walk you through your options. Bingo. And that right there is the dance, guys. Notice what happened? I didn't push. I didn't discount. I didn't list a bunch of features. I met her where she was. I helped her see herself differently. And the sale happened because she felt seen and not just sold to, right? I want you to write this down if you can, if you're not driving. Seen, not sold. That's the whole game. Okay. Now, before I let you go for today, I want to give you some homework, and I don't, care if you've never done homework from podcast before. Do this one. It will change your close rate. I promise you. So here's the exercise. I call it the objection audit, right? Step 1 is you write down the last 5 sales conversations where someone said no or just didn't buy from you. Just the names or the situations. It really doesn't have to be too detailed. Okay. Now, step 2, next to each one of these, write the objection that they gave you, just the surface one. Okay. Step 3, now ask yourself, what was the real objection here? What were they actually afraid of? And if you don't know, this is the problem. that means you didn't go into enough detail into the conversation. We always have to probe, probe, probe until we identify all of their pain points. Okay. Because that's how we lead our conversation. 4. Now, using the framework I gave you, the OIC framework, write out what you would say differently now, the exact words, and literally just practice these out loud. In the mirror, in the car, record yourself saying it in the voice memo. I don't care. Just practice them. Honestly, doing shit like this makes the biggest difference, guys. Step 5, and this is a really bold one. Go back to 2 of those people, if you can, and send them a message. Say something like, I don't know, like, hey, I know we chatted a while back and the timing wasn't right, but I've been thinking about what you shared with me and I wanted to follow up. No pressure. I just wanted to check in. You honestly will be shocked at how many of those deals are not dead. So many people let leads fall through the crack because they felt pushy. They felt like they're going to be pushy, or they weren't selling. They were just sleeping. And you're about to wake all of these leads up, guys. All right. That's the episode. Let me recap. Objections are not rejection. They're invitations. And your job is to receive without reacting, identifying the real fear underneath and reframe it as a reason to move forward. OIC, objection, identify, close. We covered the big 5 scripts. We did the role play. You have an objection audit exercise. You really have everything that you need to close your next deal differently. The only question is whether you're going to actually use this. So, now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, Kayla, I want more money. I need you in my corner. I need the full system. Then I want you to go do this for me, please. So basically what I need is for you to go to my Instagram, follow me at the.corporate.rebel, and DM me the word money. And I'm going to send you the details on a program that I'm launching. It's in pre-launch right now. It's called Women Who Close. It's really going to be like my signature sales program. It's going to be framework, scripts, coaching, a room full of women who are building 6-figure plus sales careers and businesses. And it's at a really good price point right now because it's in pre-sale. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for betting on yourself. And I will see you next week on No Limit. Have a great week, guys.